back, let's go. Set the pace, watch me steal the show. Higher ground, yeah, I'm rising fast. This is my moment, it's built to last. Keep the focus, keep the drive. No slow motion, I'm alive.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant podcast. I am your host, Rebecca Whitman, helping you go from burned out and overwhelmed to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. I'm so excited. We have Elysia Skye on the show today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, darling. It's so great to be here and to see you again and to connect with your audience.
Yay. I know we met about a month ago. I was on day one of a cross-country move.
Right.
I think the trucks hadn't even arrived yet with my stuff. And you were like, do it with ease and grace. And I was thinking of you. I did some of it with ease and grace and some of it with not ease and grace. But it's so great to see you on the other side. Like I'm all unpacked and settled in and ready to start this next chapter of life. So great to see you. Welcome to the show. I am going to tell my listeners about your illustrious, amazing background. Your name is Elysia. Am I saying it right?
Yes, you sure are, honey.
Okay. Elysia is an intuitive guide, a motivational speaker, and the creator of the Brilliance Method Podcast, which I was so excited to be a guest on. Her clients seek her intuitive guidance on business, life purpose, relationships, communication, wellness, and so much more. She supports spiritual entrepreneurs in trusting their intuition and aligning with their true path. Her podcast, The Brilliance Method, guides listeners to lives and businesses that feel authentic and prosperous. So, Elysia, tell us your story. How did you go from just a regular person, a civilian, to an intuitive guide?
Wow. Let's see. We've only got 45 minutes. So everybody's story is so powerful. And so I'll just start with that, right? Like the desire to look inward, to be a better human, to be a kinder, more compassionate person to myself and others, having that moment of awakening to choose that path, to commit to a spiritual path. That's where our story really begins. You know, obviously outside the womb, lifetime of trauma, drama, all the things. And when I committed, there were a few pivots to it, Rebecca. One was I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer when I was 24.
My
Like
God.
a couple days into being 24. I'm going to be 44 this year. It's in 2025, whenever you're listening to this. And so 20 years out, I can reflect back on it as really just a time of release, a time of also resistance, anger, and then like pivoting back around to like, who am I and why am I here and why did I get cancer? Because I didn't really have a big family history. My grandmother had a different strain that she just needed a lumpectomy. Mine, I was told I'd be dead in a month.
Oh,
And if I did nothing, to be clear, if I did nothing. But before,
what did you do to get rid of it?
well, I did everything. I did Western and Eastern treatment.
Yeah. Wow.
And when I found it myself. I wasn't doing a traditional like breast check. I think most people don't do those, even though it would be great if we were very familiar with our bodies and we did know when things change. But I was just in the shower and I felt a lump, and I've always been intuitive. My mother raised me intuitive. My sister's intuitive. My finger grazed the bump and I saw inside my body and I knew it was cancer. And I flashed back to remembering being a young girl in a health class when they passed around this like silicone boob with a bead inside of it. It felt like a hard pee. And the teacher saying, this is what cancer feels like. And, you know, one of the things I practice and that I do in my business is mindfulness. And I was mindful in that moment. I was present in that moment when I was 11 or 12 years old to remember that, right? It's almost like a deja vu. I have chills now, even just talking about it, even though I've told this story so many times, because when we are present to as many moments as we can actually remember more of our life. It slows our life down. We're not always rushing, speeding, doing, just leaning into the masculine all the time. We can have a harmonious existence. And in getting cancer, that's what I wanted. And long story slightly longer, my doctor, when I went after I found the lump, she said, "You're 24. It's probably just a cyst. We can wait." And I said, "No, we can't. I know I have cancer, and I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm intuitive." And I said to her, "You need to trust me." So I went and got a mammogram and a biopsy. Turned out it was stage 3, almost, they said it's going to be stage 4 soon. You got to go. You got to go. So had I listened, I would be dead. But because I listened to myself, I am alive. And I'm grateful to this doctor. She's a great doctor. She treated me for many years after that. She did what any medical professional would do, is give your best advice based on the statistics and age range and what she saw and felt. And it didn't seem strange, but a second lump had shown up in my armpit. And that's when she said, "That one concerns me." Right. And she was right. So that's, to answer your question, honey, that's when it truly grounded me into, no, this is the real deal. Like, our intuition can save our life. And since then, I've just trusted it completely. And that was the beginning of the spiritual path. And then, of course, up and down in business, you and I both had a life in Los Angeles and acting and producing and all the things, right? So like, that naturally is like either the death of the ego or the birth of the ego, or maybe like a snail in itself, like both both genders of ego. I have no idea.
When did you leave LA?
In September of 2020, during the height of the pandemic, I left LA and I said, I'm going all in on my coaching business. I had already been doing intuitive readings and healings, but I was wanting to create courses and do all the magic that we both do now. And I left. I've found a house in Nashville. And this is kind of a fun manifestation story if we have time, or I'll tell you.
We have time. So you started the Nashville wave of people leaving LA, coming to Nashville. You're like the founder of Nashville. I'm the founder of Cincinnati, because I have a feeling that I'm starting a wave of people leaving LA, coming to Cincinnati. So yes, tell me the story of Nashville. And
oh my gosh, I think you are. And there were other trailblazers before me moving here. And I was like, am I late to the game? But real estate was still cheap and awesome. So I loved my house in LA. When I bought it, I knew that I didn't want to keep working so hard. And I hope everybody can lean into not needing to work so hard. It's okay to love what you do. We should love what we do. But why do we have to work so hard? So I found a house that had like a guest house kind of space to it. So I converted it. I got a permit. I built a full guest house on my property in LA. So I had an Airbnb that basically paid the mortgage. So I didn't have to have a mortgage in the heart of Los Angeles in Eagle Rock, like Highland Park area. And like, that reduced my incomes, my expenses so much. It increased my income, reduced my expenses. So I got to play more, which was really fun. It's one of the things I love about passive income. And I know you talk about that too. And from there, I fell in love with that house. We were there for over 3 years. And with the pandemic, and I'd lived in LA almost 21 years, I was like, if I'm going to leave, it has to be perfect. So I went on Zillow, and this is the manifestation exercise. Okay, you guys, don't put any restrictions on your dream. I went on there and I was like, okay, minimum of 4 bedrooms. This or something greater. Minimum of 3 bathrooms. I want my own. My husband needs his own, and the guests can have theirs.
Right.
I want an acre of property. I want a finished basement. I just checked off all the things. I was so specific. And out of all the real estate in Nashville, and there was a lot at the time, 1 house popped up. Just 1. And it's the one that I'm in. And when the picture popped up, it looks like friggin' Kevin's house from Home Alone. It just looks like this massive house with these old columns. And I laughed. And I was like, I can't have that. And I was like, oh my God, why did you just say that? Right? Where is this old money story coming through? I was like, why can't I can have this. In fact, it's half the price of my house in LA. I could have 2 of these.
Exactly.
Right. So, at first they took it off the market because it was, they only wanted someone to make an offer sight unseen. And I wasn't willing to do that. So they took it off the market, and then we discussed, do we want to move? And a couple months later, we decided we did. And we called them and said, would you be willing to sell it to us if we come and see it? If we fly to Nashville and come and see it? And they knew we were serious. So it all worked out. But if you are manifesting your dreams, don't compromise. You'll get what you want. You will.
Yes, and do Zillow porn. I did the same thing. I found this house on Zillow, and it was a little bit outside of my price range, but I was like, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's my house. It was outside of my price range. It went into escrow, so it disappeared on Zillow. Then it went back at the same exact time that my husband just happened to be in this area on business. I'm like, you got to go look at that house. It's back on the market and it's $100,000 cheaper. So it's in our zone. And as soon as he walked in, he's like, this is it. I said, I knew it. I knew it from the second I saw the ad on Zillow. So that is a great exercise in manifestation. Go on Zillow and see what you can find, because
Right.
it is. When you're intuitive, you just know. It's just like, you know who you want to marry and you know where you want to live, and you just get that click.
It gets easier.
It does get easier the more you practice. So you wrote an ebook called The 7 Secrets of Waking Up Happy Every Day, which offers powerful insights about joy and clarity. I know you don't want to give away all 7 secrets, but can you share a couple with us here on the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show?
I would be happy to. Oh my gosh. And it's free. So I am happy to give all 7 secrets away. So if you're willing to share the link with your
Of
listeners,
course.
they can opt in and receive it. And it's a combination of a book and a workbook. So there's space to write and journal and fill out the questions. And the 7 secrets to waking up happy every day came from people asking me, like, how do you do it? How do you live in your dream home and you're married to your soulmate and you just have this great abundant life? And I'm like, it wasn't always this way. Like, I was a hot mess express. It was a shit show for a second or a million seconds, right? It wasn't always easy. Like you said, you did it with as much ease and grace as you could, but it's also messy. And I loved hearing your story on my show. So this is a blueprint. It's a great way to get started. And one of the secrets that I feel, I mean, I could teach any of them, but one of the secrets I feel that your audience should hear today is connected to doing even more of what you want in your life, which might seem really simple because, of course, we all want to do more of what we want to do in our life. But if I asked you, Rebecca, and if I asked anyone on the show, if you won the lottery right now and you got hundreds of millions of dollars, how would you spend your time?
Yeah, I would say I would be writing more. I would be taking my dog on more adventures. And yeah, shopping.
Great, right? It brings you joy. So
Yeah.
so we can lean into that, right? We can lean into that lottery question and go, okay, well, maybe I don't have the time or money to shop as much as I want or write as much as I want or take my dog on all the adventures I want, but can I do it even 3% more in my life, 5, 10% more in my life, right?
Yeah.
Your life has already left clues for you that are going to lead you to where you want to go. And the universe conspires in your favor when you align with your abundance. You know this, you teach this. Your audience is so primed to hear this right now that if you do what you feel motivated and inspired to do, your life will show up for you. So if you can't put yourself in a position to do it all the time, do more of it. And then what we focus on expands and more of it will show up, which also means we want to do less of what we don't want to do. And in this chapter of the book, I talk about obligation. And I have a love-hate relationship with that word because I think there's really wonderful, empowering, and positive obligations in our life. And then there's some that just drain us.
Mm-hmm.
So in talking about the ones that drain you, and even just me saying that, I'm sure you could think of a few obligations you've got coming up that you're like, do I even want to do this? Right. So obviously, as much as we can, say no to what doesn't fill our cup, even if that's hard. And just because you are related to someone, blood or marriage, does not mean you are obligated to like them or spend time with them.
Mm-hmm. I like to say, don't do anything out of fear, obligation, or guilt. We are going to cut to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hear one more of the 7 secrets to waking up happy every single day. This is Rebecca Whitman, your host of the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant Show. I'm interviewing intuitive coach Elysia Skye, and come right back because she's going to give you a secret that you're going to want to know about being happy every single day.
How clean is the water you're drinking and bathing in? If you call Aquasana Water today, they'll provide you with a free assessment telling you the condition of your tap water. Aquasana sells whole house water filters starting at $1,000. Isn't that worth it to have a 10-year supply of filtered, cleaner water? Aquasana water filters tackle chlorine taste and odor and can reduce contaminants like viruses, lead, forever chemicals, and microplastics, depending on the system you purchased. So make the free call, find out the condition of your water, and make your water cleaner the Aquasana way. It's a smart decision for you and your family and a must for a healthy home. Get a whole house Aquasana water system starting at $1,000 for your entire home. Call and find out the condition of your water with a free water assessment. 800-925-6029. 800-925-6029. 800-925-6029. That's 800-925-6029.
Everything is expensive right now. Gas, food, you name it. You're spending more, you are making the same or less money. So, what do? You rack up credit card debt. That's what you do. It's not your fault. It's the economy. And guess what? If you rack up too much credit card debt like some of us, you can't pay your bills. Then the credit card companies, as nice as they are, start hounding you for money. Then you start your downward spiral. A smart thing for you to do is to call the Zero Debt. They can help you consolidate all your credit card bills into one affordable payment. Millions of people have done it. It works to make you debt-free. Make this free call right now. It costs you nothing to learn more.
800-628-5675. 800-628-5675. 800-628-5675. That's 800-628-5675.
Hey there, gorgeous. Quick question. Do you want to look younger, feel stronger, and glow like the star that you are? Of course you do, honey. So here's the deal. Your body wants to age gracefully, but stress, sugar, and time are not on your side. Enter the game changer you didn't know you needed, liquid collagen. This isn't your average powdery chalky mess. Oh no, honey, this is next level science. Our liquid collagen has a 93% bioavailability rate. Powdered collagen is 30% at best. This means your hair, skin, nails, joints get the VIP treatment. If you want to reduce wrinkles, feel amazing in your body, and turn heads, this is your glow up in a bottle. Don't wait. Your future self is literally begging for this. Click the link in the show notes to grab your bottle today. But hurry, supplies are limited and this kind of fabulous will not last forever. You deserve this. Now go shine like the balanced, beautiful, and abundant star that you are. And we're back. Welcome back to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant Show. I'm so glad you're here. We are talking to Elysia Skye about the 7 secrets to waking up happy every single day. So what's another secret?
Okay, well, this one might not sound like a big secret after the first part of the conversation we had, but the secret is your intuition is your best friend. You've just heard me tell a story about how listening to my intuition saved my life. And our intuition is just as important as our sense of hearing, our sense of sight and sound and touch and all the senses. Like, it wasn't until recently, as far as history goes, that we stopped trusting it and started relying on others to always tell us what to do in our life and with our money and with our religion. We have this internal guidance system built into our entire being. So make it your best friend. And if you've made bad decisions in the past, that doesn't mean you don't have a good intuition. It just means you didn't listen to it. Right? We've all got those stories where it was like, oh gosh, I probably shouldn't have dated that person. And yep, that job wasn't right for me, but I took it, just like you said, out of fear or obligation or guilt or one of those
Yeah.
things, right? So when you're listening to your intuition, you will not make choices from a place of fear and obligation and guilt. And if we're in our head and we can't really tell, is this my intuition or is it fear? Because our ego will show up to make sure we survive, right? Our ego is here to keep us alive. Our ego cannot survive without a body. It is not eternal. I don't think it's this horrible, horrible thing, but it can kind of be a drag when it comes to making decisions about your life and listening to your intuition. So if you have to ask yourself, is it my head or my heart? If you're already asking that, you're in your head, right?
But
Yes.
where do we listen? Where's our intuition? Is it in our heart or is it in our gut?
I believe it's in our heart. It is in our heart center. It is in our fourth chakra. And the reason why people call it a gut feeling and they think it's in our gut is because our gut is the only other place in our entire body that we have brain cells, which is why, especially for women, we tend to have a stress response connected to our digestion, right? A lot of women either, hold it or go too often. And it's like, which one is it? And it's our body in fight or flight going, oh my God, I don't have time. I don't have time. Right. So that's what's going on in our gut. And a lot of times when we're tuning in from a place of love, making intuitive choices from a place of love, we feel it so perfectly in our center, in our heart center. And our heart chakra is not just our heart on the left side, it's our center, it's our chest, it's our armpits, it's our shoulder blades, expanding our angel wings all the way out and around. Like this light is illuminated to help guide you to the truth of who you are, where you've been, and what's next for you and what's right for you. And oftentimes, if you're faced with a fear response or you're making a choice from fear, you will feel it in your gut because it'll feel like scary butterflies, right? That's kind of the term that comes up for me right now, just scary butterflies.
What are the butterflies you feel when you are attracted to someone?
Those are love butterflies. Those are like, whoo, those kind of race up and down between your heart and your gut, right? They're fluttering. They're literally fluttering because they're in your heart chakra going, yes, yes, yes. And then your human self, your fear, your ego is like, I don't know, you got hurt last time, or it didn't work out, or they stole all your money, or shit happened, right? So again, that ego is there to keep us safe, keep us small, keep us alive, but our soul is eternal. And our soul is connected to our heart center. And that's like the phone line to God and the universe right there.
Yeah. Have you been back to LA since you left?
I have. I go back a lot. I do a lot of public speaking, motivational speaking for different companies. And I go to a lot of concerts. I love music. I love seeing my friends. So, yeah. And then the occasional production. I think as we were connecting, I went back and I volunteered to produce a whole event for the fires to raise money for the fires. So,
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends out there who call me for work and help and joy. So I do go back. What about you?
I've only been gone a month, so I haven't gone back yet, but I look forward to going back for sure. Yeah. So awesome. So you have a quote: to stay present, healthy, and impactful, we must embrace the constant changes in our environment and our experience. Resistance to change leads to stagnation. So how do you explain that quote?
Well, the idea of stagnation, when you imagine water, and our body is mostly made up of water. And as we were talking about even before we went live today about how like water and intuition are so connected. If water is still for a long time, it can become toxic. It can turn into poison, right?
Yeah.
The bacteria in the air and everything starts to land on it. If it's not moving, it's poison. So that stagnation creates illness. And what is the stagnation? It's you not living your purpose. It's you not going for your dreams. It's you not telling the person you love that you love them and you want to work it out or get together. It's you not forgiving when you know there's something in your life you want to let go of and forgive. It's anytime we just put our head down just to make money or to get by. And sometimes it feels like we have to because we have responsibilities and we got kids to feed and all that stuff. But when we are stagnant, we're not in flow. And even like when I channel intuitively, I move my body just starts rocking. Like I'm in flow with that energy. And you don't have to rock your body to do it. Like I said, mine just happens, but find a way to move your whole being, move your body, move your energy, change shit up. Go play, go have fun. Like when I said I go back to LA and I go to concerts, there's plenty of great music in Nashville. I go to concerts here too, but I go on adventures.
Yeah.
Like we have to change our environment and change our energy. And that is how we change our perspective, which is the true definition of a miracle. And don't we want more miracles in our life?
Yes. Yes. Speaking of that, I just started the Course in Miracles for the second time, going through all the lessons. And the Course in Miracles defines a miracle as a change in perspective. So
Absolutely.
there you go. So speaking of soul's purpose, how do we find our soul's purpose?
I love this question. Well, I want to just bounce off. You're doing A Course in Miracles. So
Yeah.
that's totally one way, right? And that's a philosophy on forgiveness. And if anyone's not familiar, it's 365 different lessons, which are essentially meditations, like mindful practices to go inside and release the illusion of the world and dig deeper into forgiveness. And when we start to release all this stuff and we simplify, not multiply the things in our lives. And I'm not, you can still go shopping as much as you want. And I love it too. Right. But like we get to find ways to do less and be more, then we create space to hear the truth of our purpose. And when we're on purpose, I call it mad scientist mode. We like forget to eat. We don't even want to go break and go pee. We're just like, oh my God, I just love doing the thing that I'm doing. Right. So if you're trying to figure out what is your purpose in this lifetime, do an inventory or even ask some of your friends and go, hey, when I'm in mad scientist mode, like when I'm just in the zone, right? Abraham Hicks calls it in the vortex, just in flow, doing that thing that you see me just lose time and I'm so happy. And it seems like I could just do this forever and for hours and hours, probably how you are with writing, Rebecca. That's where you know your purpose is lighting up. Like that's your unique brilliance. And then you bring it to life on a human level with however it is you want to share it and create it and or monetize it. So your life has already led you, given you clues into exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing. Notice where you're curious. Like my whole life, yes, I love music and I'm like kind of a crappy drummer, but I've never been a great musician, even though I love it. But when I just lean in and binge for hours, it's like Tyler Henry or like near-death experiences. Like I just love spiritual stuff and past life stuff and Akashic record stuff. And it's like, that's what I've always been drawn to. So there's clues there that that's part of my purpose. So I would invite everyone who's listening or watching, what are you drawn to? If you're like, if you're like the manager of your bank and you make great money and you're like, I'm cool, but you know what? I've just always been obsessed with skiing. Like all I want to do is ski. I make this money so that I could go ski. It'd be fun. Like when I retire, I'm going to be a ski instructor. And it's like, don't wait till you retire. That's when your bones are more brittle. What if you start doing it now? Like, right?
Exactly. Live your life now as if you're retired. Now,
Yes.
my people listening who don't know what the Akashic records are, can you explain that?
Sure. That's a great point. So the Akashic realm is a place where all of our life experiences, not just this lifetime, but every lifetime, is these records are held there. Okay. So when we say Akashic records, they're in the hall of records in this realm. And there are incredible ancient beings that are the record keepers. And if you want to go deeper into this, I would look up Linda Howe's work. She wrote a book on how to read your Akashic records and she teaches it and whatnot. And I'll be offering them soon as well. So you can reach out to me at elysiaskye.com. And right now I teach meditation on it and I do my own, but it's just so fun, Rebecca, because when you look at your records, you tap specifically into your life purpose, right? You might ask the record keepers or the intuitive who's guiding you through your records about your life purpose. What am I meant to do? I love this person. Do they love me back? Should I move here? Like, I've asked my record keepers all those things. Should I move to Nashville? Right? Just all that stuff. So anything that is in your destiny and in your past is in your records, and it's an intuitive process. And if you study A Course in Miracles, you might be open to the idea that the script has already been written. And maybe from a human perspective, that robs us of our free will. So we don't like that idea that the script is already written about our life. So maybe we can, for the purposes of today, lean into the outline is written, and we'll fill in the outline. But it's all there in the Akashic. And it's a really beautiful place to visit, which you can do in meditation, or you could do through an intuitive who knows how to guide you to look at your records, or they'll look at your records for you.
Beautiful. I love that. So how can intuition help our business?
Oh, in every single way, all the ways. And number one, everything that we've already talked about your purpose and doing more of what you want to do. And when we are expanding a business, and every business has to have sales, right? Whether you're creating an app, or you're a coach, or you're a healer, or a real estate agent, when it comes to the sales perspective, I have a whole module on this in the Brilliance Method called Soul Aligned Sales. It's one of my online courses. And the foundation that I'll share now is connecting with each other from a soul level and creating and marketing from that soul perspective. So the essence of it is you lean into your intuition to essentially, like dolphin ping, the way dolphins ping each other under the ocean with sonar, of who are my people. And I have an exercise called the client declaration. So if you're looking at, okay, I want to attract people on the soul level, and I know I'm supposed to have an avatar, like this is how much this person makes every year, and what is their gender, and where do they live? Underneath that are not just their core values, but what they stand for in the world, what they stand against, what they believe, if they've released a victim mentality, where they have been forgiving. So when you break it down, and I'm happy to share it with you guys, you look at, okay, this person is ready for me, not just because of how much money they make, but because of the work they've done, and not just because they've had a coach before or they have this certification. It is truly a list of your own requirements for your clients. When my clients fill out my form to work with me, I said, here are my requirements for my clients. What is your requirement for your intuitive or for your coach? It's so important. We can't skip that part. And in listening to our intuition, you get to feel, is this a match? Don't just say yes to hiring a marketing person or buying a Google Ads suite because everyone else is doing it.
Right.
All the marketing works. Every single thing works. Will it work for you? If you feel completely lit up, like in your heart, like this is the path I want to take to scale, go for that path. Like part of why I reached out to you to be on your show, I'm reaching out to other podcast hosts who I align with to get in front of their audience, and then reciprocally inviting them to be on my show to be in front of my audience. So if we're always building our audiences and getting in front of aligned people, it's a win. But I was using my intuition, and who is it that I want to play with?
Right. Well, I'm so glad that your intuition found me, and we are having so much fun on this interview. We are going to cut to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how to have compassionate communication. This is so important in the crazy times that we're in. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant podcast. We're talking to Elysia Skye about compassionate communication in just a couple minutes.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines, and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rates you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-451-8603. 800-451-8603. 800-451-8603. That's 800-451-8603.
Hey there, fellow travelers. It's me, the Hotel Whiz. Before you go anywhere, call me day or night for hotel rates too low to publish. I'll save you up to 75% on over 500,000 hotels across the globe. You see, I've already done the research, so you don't have to spend time online trying to find the best deal. That's up to 75% off. Just call me, the Hotel Whiz. It's a free call, and you get instant access to rates too low to publish with no cancellation fees.
Make a free call now and save up to 75% off your hotel rooms the next time you're going somewhere for business or pleasure. Call the Hotel Whiz now and get instant access to rates too low to publish. 800-590-1163. 800-590-1163. 800-590-1163. Call the Hotel Whiz right now for rates too low to publish. 800-590-1163.
Okay, can I be real for a second? You're out there crushing it in some areas of your life, but in others, it's like a hot mess express. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. You're not just meant to survive, you're meant to thrive. And that's exactly what I help my clients do in my coaching program. Together, we'll tackle all 7 pillars of abundance, because who wants killer abs but a dumpster fire of a bank account? Or a thriving career but 0 in the romance department? Yeah, no thanks. I'm inviting you to schedule a breakthrough call with me. No pressure, no awkward sales pitch, just you, me, and a chance to figure out why you're stuck and how to get unstuck. So stop doom scrolling and start doing something about it. Click the link in the show notes and let's start giving you your best, most bougie life. You in?
Don't look back, let's go. Set the pace, watch me steal the show. Higher ground, yeah,
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Rebecca Whitman, taking you from burned out to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. Today, we are interviewing intuitive coach Elysia Skye, and she is going to explain to us how to have compassionate communication.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite things to talk about. Thank you, Rebecca. And when we even lean into the word compassion, what does that mean? It means with passion, with heart. And when we embrace a life of, I'm going to be more forgiving of myself and others, we want to practice not just compassion for other people, but self-compassion. Self-compassion is a term, I think, coined by Kristen Neff. If you look up her TED Talk or read any of her books, she's brilliant. And it's essentially when you talk to yourself the way you would talk to a friend, or treat yourself the way you would treat a friend, right? So when we start to be more compassionate with ourselves, we actually soften up, we are more gentle, and then we're kinder and more patient with others. So it actually starts within, doesn't it always?
Yes.
Yes.
It's how we talk to ourselves, our own inner narrative. You know what I found, Elysia, is I had the bad boy syndrome, and I didn't understand why I was only attracted to guys who treated me like shit.
Yeah.
But guess what? I was treating myself like shit. The way that I talked to myself as a perfectionist was like this vicious taskmaster of, you're not doing it right, you're not enough, why'd you do it that way? Whatever I was saying to myself was so unkind. And then I shifted my inner dialogue and I attracted my soulmate who's kind. It seems so simple that it couldn't possibly work, but it really does.
It really does. Thank you for that example. And, we do teach people how to treat us. We absolutely do. So if we're treating ourselves a certain way, then we should expect others to treat us that way. They say the golden rule is treat others how you want to be treated. Treat yourself how you want to be treated.
Yes.
Okay? That's the platinum rule. All right.
Yes.
And when we lean into, okay, I'm going to be compassionate with others, that brings us back to mindfulness, that when we are listening, if someone has asked us to have an uncomfortable conversation, or we are asking someone else to have a conversation to clear the air about something, or maybe create.
How do we do that? Like, do you have a verbiage or script for how to set an appointment for a clearing conversation?
I wouldn't call it a script, Rebecca, but we know when we're creating drama, right?
Mhm.
So that's the mindful choice, is when you say, like, for example, if I need to talk to my husband about something I know he's going to hate talking about, I'll say, hey, babe, can we talk tonight after dinner? It's not scary. There's just some things I need to figure out, and I would love your support with.
That's a great way to say that. Stop, rewind, get your pen, write that down. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So just to like manage the emotion as much as you can. We don't have to manage other people's emotions, but manage
When
your
you
own.
ask someone, oh, we need to have a talk, immediately guys are like, oh my God, what I do wrong?
What did I do wrong?
A dating coach guide me to say, don't worry, you're not in trouble.
I used to say, don't worry, you're not in trouble. And then my assistant told me, stop saying that to me, because then she would start thinking she was in trouble. So I don't use that one anymore. But that's a good one, probably more for romance. But, I've had to talk to my team about, hey, now this isn't done correctly or whatnot. And I love that you asked me this question, because we are such compassionate people. We're generous, we're kind, we're loving. We don't want people to feel bad if they made a mistake. But, people have to improve. They get to improve. So it's up to us if we want to lean into the drama and say, we need to talk, right? Or, hey, I'd love to set up some time on your calendar. I'd love to receive your time. Do you have about 30 minutes? And if you'd like to share what the topic is, right? The topic is this situation. It's like, okay, well, and then they're going to come back. Are you mad at me? Right? Did I mess up? Can we fix it now? And it's like, we're good. You and I are so good. And then starting the conversation, set an intention. My intention for this conversation is, number one, for you to know how much I appreciate you and how much I love you, if you want to use that word or not, depending on the professional situation. And we're going to improve whatever this is. We're going to improve this process. We're going to improve how we communicate about this. Here's my intention. What's your intention? They're like, to listen to what you have to say and like not be defensive. Great. That's a good one. Let's start. Right? So we start with that. Any sort of non-judgmental language is ideal, right? When we use judgmental language, it puts the other person on the defensive almost immediately. And
What is an example of judgmental language?
like when someone says, when you did this, you made me feel this way,
Right.
right? Rebecca, you didn't call me back, and that made me feel like you didn't care about me. When the truth is, no one can make you feel anything.
Right.
They can't get inside your mind and your heart and make you feel a certain way. Now, the extreme example of that is, of course, if you're being abused or there's something really horrible going on. But in general, when it comes to our day-to-day relationships in business, nobody's making you feel a certain way. Okay. So you just flip it. When you blank, when you don't call me back, I feel like our relationship isn't as much of a priority for you as it is for me. And that leads me to just, not want to call you as much. And for that reason, I just want to talk about it and just make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Right. So everything I said is, I did address, you did this thing, but you didn't make me feel, I feel this way. And now I've made this conclusion. And so I have a concern. So let's talk about it. Take full responsibility for how you feel. Don't put that on somebody else.
No shaming, no blaming.
Correct. Don't blame someone for your
And when
emotions.
you say people get on the defensive. So that's why it's so good to use I statements.
Always, right? So you don't even have to say when you did this. You could say when this happened.
Yeah.
Hey, when this happened, see if you can eliminate the word you in all possibilities. Right? When this happened, I got into an argument with a friend. We were at a concert and she did something that I thought was kind of shitty. And I had
you don't have to say her name.
I won't. So in my my right arm has lymphedema from having had breast cancer. So if it gets cut or scratched or anything like that, I could potentially have to go to the hospital. I'll get cellulitis. So I'm really careful about it. I travel with antibiotics and antiseptic wipes and all this stuff. And we were at a concert and she was wearing a jacket with sequins all over it. Oh. And we're at a concert, so we're jumping up and down. And so I said, hey, you're on my right side. I know we're going to jump a lot tonight. Let's switch spots. She said, no, I want to stay here.
Wow. Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
Why? She's like, I don't know. I just have a feeling I need to stay here. Right. So she was like weaponizing her intuition. I'm like, So I moved. I was like, I'm not going to be with you at this concert. I love you. We'll talk about this later. And I switched spots with the guy that was next to me. Right. And then she was
That's
like, oh,
good. Yeah.
that's all I could do. But she got annoyed and she's like, oh, fine, I'll take off the jacket. So she tied it around her waist, but that meant I couldn't put my arms down ever. Right. So I was
Oh
like, this isn't working. Right. So I had to have an uncomfortable conversation with her later. I waited till after the concert. I actually waited a week or so later because I was like, is this me? So first of all, in compassionate communication, how much of this is all mine? Did
Mhm.
someone else actually do anything that was hurtful or inconsiderate, or am I taking something personally? So once I practiced the 4 agreements, are we familiar with the 4 agreements?
Yes, I was just thinking that's my biggest challenge out of the 4 agreements is not to take things personally.
Well, it's an important one, and it's good that it's a challenge because it means you're proactive about it and you think about it a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Be impeccable with your word. My
Mhm.
dog's gonna bark. There he goes. So I had to filter it through and go, am I taking this personally? I'm like, no, I didn't. She actually could have made a more compassionate choice. So I had to talk to her about it. I just said, hey, when this happened, I felt like my health was secondary to your enjoyment at a concert. And I require, so we bring in requirements, I require that in my friendships, my friends prioritize my well-being over fun.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm not saying prioritize my well-being over your well-being,
Right.
my well-being over fun. She's like, oh my God, I don't even know why I did that. I think I was just like in some weird zone. I was like, great. So you'll never do it again. She's like, I will never do that again. I'm like, I believe her. And she never has.
That's amazing. How many concerts a month do you go to? I love that you're so proactive with concerts.
I love it. Well, I'm so blessed to have so many talented musical friends. I have so many friends in the music industry, and being an actor for so many years in LA, it was like,
Yeah.
in LA, it's like everyone's an actor, but out here in Nashville, everyone's a musician. So I feel really like I finally feel cool again that I'm not in the main industry that's here. So it's such a joy. How many do I go to? I don't know. It depends on the month. Like
at least one a month.
oh yeah. And in May, I'm going to 10.
What? So tell us your concert protocol, like shoes, purse, like how do you make concerts work for you and
You're
in our age group?
There we go. That's right. So first of all, you have to find out, is it general admission or do you have a seat? If it's general admission, are they letting everyone in all at the same time? You don't want to get stuck in a bag check. So do not bring a purse. You just bring your phone and your ID and your credit card and you stick it in your pocket. And when you walk through security, you hold it in your hand. Then you can run to the front row, right? Perfect. Shoes, comfortable shoes. Don't try to look cute. You're going to be standing and jumping all day.
Nobody's looking at your feet.
0. Can't even see them. There's 1,000 people around you and it's dark. Okay. And drink water. I do not drink alcohol at concerts because we're jumping, we're sweating, and you want to buy 1 bottle of water. You drink a little bit of it when the concert starts, but not too much to where you're going to miss it and have to go pee. Okay. And if you have to go pee and it's a band, pee during your least favorite song. And at Pearl Jam, it used to be even flow because they always played it like 75% of the concert, but then they started playing it in the beginning. And I'm like, damn it, that's not my pee song anymore. So, and then you drink little sips of the rest of the water as you're hot throughout the night. And if there's a giant parking garage, try and find street parking. Even though you're going to walk further, you're going to get out of the parking lot so much faster.
I will not miss being stuck in the Hollywood Bowl gridlock for 5 hours after the concert.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And it's up to you if you want to eat food at the concerts. I tend to eat really healthy, so I generally don't go for the French fries and candy, but you got to do what you got to do. You can usually sneak in like a protein bar and no one really notices because it doesn't go off in the metal detector.
What's your favorite kind of protein bar?
Ooh, I'm really loving the Nugo mint chocolate chip with the rice crunch right now.
Nugo and UGO. I'm obsessed with barbells.
I don't know barbells.
They taste like $1,000 bars.
Ooh, okay. I'll have to look that up.
They're made in West LA right on Grandview, which I used to live 2 blocks from Grandview. So I love it. I absolutely love it. So last question before we wrap up. How can your intuition help your business? And how do we stay out of strategy and into intuition and balance the two? in business.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a great continuation from where we were previously. So when it comes to with strategy, right? Everybody thinks, okay, I just need to learn how to do an email sequence. I just need to learn how to create a course. Like we think that the answers are outside of us. And just like everything else we've talked about on the show, that is not the case. You
Yeah.
probably don't need to buy 10 more courses to learn how to build 10 more things. You just have to do more of what you love doing and what lights you up. And don't be afraid to ask for testimonials, ask for reviews. Okay. And when you are connecting with people who are on your client declaration, who are a soul match, other people who are kind and creative and loyal and generous and powerful. Like those are traits you have, Rebecca. Those are traits I have. You're welcome. Like it's just a match, right? And Andrea Quinn talks about this in her book, The Quinn Essentials. She'd be a great guest for your show. Then and to go deep into that, it's called the I Ams in her book. But when we remember who we are from that perspective of the soul, I might say I'm creative, and then my soul is expressing it by coaching or using, production or creating courses and how you've decorated your house, right? That's all creativity. And how you shop and how you write, that's creativity. So lean into more of who you are. And if you choose to purchase a new, strategy methodology or something like that, just because everyone else is doing it, pause and ask yourself why. Pausing to know the why, and this is also one of the secrets in the 7 secrets, will give us more information about our motivation. Because when we're just doing shit because other people are doing it and it's working for them, when we lean into the why of why do I want to do this, then we actually do more of it when we understand why, and we do a better job when we understand why, and we listen to our intuition to really understand why. Because on the surface, I'm like, okay, I want to be on people's podcasts to get in front of other people's audiences, to get more people to come to my podcast. That's a very surface why. But when I look into my own unique brilliance of what is it when I'm in mad scientist mode, like, Rebecca, I love this, what we're doing right now. Like you and I connecting, having a deep conversation. I'm an introvert. I like the deep conversations.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I like teaching. I like sharing, right? We're talking about concerts and crystals and spirituality. Like this is my favorite thing to do. So that's why I started a podcast. So naturally, I might have chosen a marketing strategy connected to something that fills my heart so much, which means I'm going to be a great guest on people's podcasts because it's in alignment with my zone of genius and who I am on the soul level. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes. Yeah. Do more of what you love. And, it's not how, it's what, like your intention is more important than the mechanics of how you get there.
Yeah.
And it's just stay in your zone of genius and
do more.
People do the stuff that you don't want to do.
Yeah. The not fun stuff. So don't forget your why. And in addition to do more of what you love, do more of who you are.
Ooh, yes. Do more of who you are. Authenticity is the highest vibration, even higher than love. So do more of who you are. Absolutely. Well, Elysia, this has been so much fun. Tell our listeners how to stay in touch with you. Where can people find you online, and how can they get those other 4 secrets?
Oh my goodness. Well, I believe you're going to share the link in your description for the book. And my website is my name, ElysiaSkye.com. That's ELYSIASKYE.com. That's also my social handle everywhere. So wherever you are, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, I'm there under Elysia Skye. Find me, connect to me, and I will personally respond. I don't have any of my assistants responding on my behalf. And you can book me for intuitive readings, and I'd be happy to come to your company and do mindfulness workshops. And that's how I like to play. And I have the Emerald Collective. I have a coaching membership that's very affordable. So.
And you were going to pull a card for me or my at the end before we wrap up.
I am. So I want you to tune in, Rebecca, and this will be for you and on behalf of everyone who is listening and enjoying, your loyal, dedicated audience who appreciates you so much. And I feel that love in your heart for everyone back so big. So just take a moment right now to set an intention. I'm going to tap into your energy and infuse it into these cards. I am making my own card deck soon, so that'll be on my website.
It's really fun.
So fun. Oh, here we go. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold.
Ooh.
There it is. What can I get it to focus? What a fun card for you. Also just moving into your home, crossing the threshold into this new space, this new way of being. But this is your rite of passage. Like, ooh, my heart is beating so fast. Who you have fully embodied, Rebecca, who you have stepped into, and who you were willing to walk away from being to completely be who you are now. And that does not mean that you are not a fabulous, talented, creative writer, author, actor, director, producer. You do all of that and more. You will do all of that and more. And for everyone listening, this is your time. This is your time to step through the portal and follow your bliss. Stop doing shit you don't want to do. You have been initiated into light to follow your dreams. And that's why you watch this show and you listen to this show. And that's why you trust Rebecca. And thank you for trusting me. So cross that threshold. Just do it. Just do it.
Go. Let's go. Vamonos. All right. Well, thank you so much, Elysia, for the card reading and for being such a wonderful guest on the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show. Everyone, thank you for listening. Please share this show with a friend. And until we meet again, keep your vibe high and magnetized. Bye, everyone. Hey there, it's Rebecca, your magnetic abundance mentor. Let me ask you something. Are you feeling stuck, burned out, or like life just isn't as juicy as you know it can be? If you're nodding right along, it's time for a breakthrough. My coaching program is designed to help you align your life in all 7 pillars of abundance: spiritual, physical, emotional, romantic, mental, social, and financial, so you can finally live that big, bold, sexy, and adventurous life you deserve. And here's the best part. I'm inviting you to schedule a breakthrough call with me. No pressure, no sales gimmicks, just a genuine chance to experience my coaching firsthand and get crystal clear on what is next for you. Because your best life is not a someday thing, it's a right now thing. So click the link in the show notes to book your breakthrough call and let's start making magic together. Your next level is calling you. And now for our podcast review of the week. This one says Gaining Clarity, and it's from Kate House. Listening to and learning from Rebecca has helped me gain clarity on what matters most to me, and it has inspired me to take action. Thank you so much. Yes, we are in the action business and God is in the results business.